Ladies, I think we are live. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Shanika. How are you? Nice to have you. Love the hair. That is beautiful. Yeah, you look great. Um, your your line or my line is lagging a bit, so your
Let's see.
connection is very choppy, unfortunately. But I heard like a long hi.
Yes. Hello. I couldn't get it.
Yeah,
Yes. So I couldn't get unmuted. Uh, I was trying to unmute. So hello.
okay.
Thank you for the compliment. And hi, little one. Who's the beautiful little one?
Yeah, I have with me today my beautiful daughter Milani. So she also wants to be TV famous, and she decided to join me on the live today. And for me, it's all about, we're building legacy, and we need, just as we're telling the
Yes.
coming generation, we're making them normalize, going live, being, serving people online. So for them, as they homeschool around me, as they go through their day, they see me go through my day. So for me, this is part of my legacy. These are the people that needs to take the baton when we're gone. So yeah, they need to be included. So yeah, she's joining us today.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, let me share my screen,
Well,
Shanika. Unfortunately, you're coming through very choppy, so I can barely hear what you're saying, but yeah, I'm just happy to have you here with me. I'm going to share my portion of the screen, and let's jump right into the training for day 4. Okay, ladies. So if you're tuning in for the first time, this is the Finding Yourself Again crash course. We are actually on day 4 already. So if you didn't catch the previous ones, hopefully they're still available in the Facebook group. If not, you need to comment SSC below so I can get you into the membership. You're already in the membership because you're in the Unstoppable Faithpreneur Tribe Facebook group, but you also need to be in the course site so that you can access the resources, download the templates, and this includes all the Inspire Free personal development stuff, which includes Finding Yourself Again, Rock Bottom to Rock Solid, my book Create a Beautiful Life, and there's other trainings that will still come, the Life Transformation Accelerator, and so forth and so forth. And this also includes the Shepherd Sales Circle, which is the content process, basically a sales content process. So content as sales membership. So welcome here. Shanika is unfortunately coming through a bit choppy, but we're just gonna carry on. And if you are watching and you want to join us in the room, just check there is a messenger chat in the Unstoppable Faithpreneur Tribe. Join that messenger chat and also join the WhatsApp chat because messenger chat is going away on Facebook groups. I don't know if you saw the notification coming through on your Facebook, but we will have to shift over into a WhatsApp group because we will no longer have these messenger pods available in Facebook groups. So there's a link to join the WhatsApp group so that you can get access to the Zoom link every week. Every time I go live, I try to share it about an hour or a half an hour before we begin so that nobody misses a thing. All right, so revision, we spoke about our life story. On day 1, we talked about our values and we talked about our 3-year vision. So I'm so proud of you for showing up and doing the work because it's only 1% of people that actually take action. Look at how many people we are in the group and how many people are showing up for the Finding Yourself Again training, which is absolutely free. It is the value of 50 books that I've read, um, super valuable stuff. But yeah, the reason that you're showing up shows me that these people are the 1%. So if you're here, if you're catching the replay, say hashtag replay. If you need to be in the Shepherd Sales Circle, um, and you're not yet in there, just comment SSC below, and I will get you in. And yeah, without further ado, let's carry on with day 4. So I just want to finish up what we spoke about on day 3. we spoke about the 3-year vision of your life, and I said as homework, you should go and say, oh my goodness, Yana, you won't believe what happened after this training. My life has changed so much. This is what happened. And I wanted you to dream a little bit and cast a 3-year vision for, your life going forward. And I just posted mine in the group, so you can go and read that. The title is The Vision We're Building and Why It Matters Now. And I said for mine, I said, let me just read some of it. We're architecting a faith-first, revenue-smart ecosystem where our calling becomes the category leadership on purpose, at scale, and with joy. This is the Esther economy in motion. It is kingdom influence, and it's multiplied through holy strategy, clean operations, content that moves hearts and markets. I have a vision that Lord gave me about 10 years, 10 million impressions, one message. So this is the generation of Christian women experts stepping into authority, monetizing their God-given skill sets with integrity and funding generous impact. We're not hustling for visibility, but we are stewarding visibility as a trust. What this actually looks like is authority, operational peace, content as sales flywheel, premium offers, premium clients, a generosity engine, legacy density. We work from an operating system. We have frameworks. There will be KPI governance. And the culture that we're trying to protect is that we work from faith over frenzy, that rest is also a revenue line, excellence without ego, under promise, over deliver, document everything. Then we talk about, sorry, I lost it now. Generosity, as strategy, God handles the math when we handle the stewardship. Simplicity at the core, so fewer offers, but deeper transformation and longer retention. So this is the vision. So if you're here in the Unstoppable Faithpreneur Tribe, that means you're in the Unstoppable Faithpreneur Tribe membership, and this includes the Shepherd Sales Circle, which is the Content as Sales membership, and it also includes Inspire Free Personal Development Academy. Then I'll talk about the next steps a bit later on the call. And yeah, so you're on the right track, you're in the right place. This is where we will get together. It's not hype, it is stewardship at scale. We build businesses that carry his fingerprint, profitable, peaceful, and profoundly useful to the world. So that's my 3-year vision. And I encourage you to write yours and drop it in the group. So I'm going to keep an eye on the comments. So if you're tuning in, say hi in the comments so I can see you here. Let's just open up the live again on my phone. Okay, awesome. So I'll be able to see. So Edna is joining us live. Kat says good day. Awesome. Hi, Kat. Hi, Edna. How are you doing? Let us know. Awesome, awesome. Thank you for tuning in, ladies. Okay, so I'm just finishing up the day 3 stuff, and then we're diving into day 4. So let's talk about changing your circumstances. We have to be in a constant cycle of renewing our mind, because our mind influences what we do, and what we do improves our circumstances. So are you doing something as homework? And what do I mean with that? Are you going to work and coming home and watching Netflix? Or are you doing something for yourself, something on the side, something that is not for your boss, something that that you're building, a legacy, a vision, calling from the Lord? Don't give the pen to your boss, because our bosses has not got much planned for us. Okay? They're not dreaming about your success at the end of their workday. Okay? So Damon John said, my parents always taught me that my day job would never make me rich, but it would be my homework. So what is the homework that you do? Think about that. Just see if I can see Renette is joining in the room as well. Hi, Renette.
Sorry, I'm late.
No worries, no worries. We just started anyway. So how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Just hectic. I was
Running around. You just muted yourself.
Yeah,
running around. Oh,
I
shame.
was
But we're
working
glad
late
you're
and
here.
I had to fetch it and everything, but I'm here.
Oh, yes, we're glad you're here. Shanika was just here, but she's struggling with her connectivity, so she'll probably pull back in, or she'll listen on the live as well. So I've got Villani with me today, Tani Renette. She wanted to be in the live, and she said to me, my sisters always gets to be on the lives, and I also want to be on TV, and I also want to be part of this. So I said, okay, so you can join us today, because she's here watching with us and participating with us. And this is why we're doing this, ladies. We're doing it for the next generation, because we have to pass on the baton at the end of the day. So when they see us doing the work, we setting the example for what they need to be doing one day. So all right, so talking about planning your life, just get to this next slide. So if you keep shooting blindfolded, you stand a 99% chance to miss. Remember last week we spoke about, if I put a blindfold on you and I spin you around and I tell you to hit a target, are you going to hit the target? Yes or no? What is your chances of hitting that target, hitting the bullseye? So we need to start aiming and decide what we want out of our life. Let me just talk to this dog.
Mhm.
The dogs are barking. All right. So yeah, so start aiming, decide what you want out of your life, dream a dream, make a vision, plan for it, and go do it. So for some of us, God has already revealed to us the dream that He has over your life. For some of us, you don't really know yet, but you're still taking action as far as you know, like you're taking step by step, you're waiting for God to reveal the rest. And that is very important. So don't live your life like a zombie. Start doing something for you, something that you will thank yourself for in the future. So, Renette, I want to hear from you. Have you had a chance to do day three's homework with the vision, the 3-year vision for your life?
No, I didn't do that.
Okay. Yeah, you'll catch up on that, and then you can post in the
I'm so
Unstoppable
sorry.
5 Minute Tribe. Yeah, you'll no worries. But it's a 3-year vision. And you guys can catch the replay or look in the course site. It is available there. So and then post your homework in the Faith Minute Tribe. I look forward to seeing that. I just posted mine anyway as well. So I was late with my homework as well. So so when you want it with every fiber of your being and you're convinced that you will have it, if you take planned action and you embrace your failures and you get allies along the way, these are the people that will journey with you, people that can support you, you will achieve your goals. And we have to be in a constant cycle of renewing our mind. Romans 12 verse 2 says, transformed by the renewal of your mind, so that it can influence our thoughts and our beliefs, and our thoughts and our beliefs in turn affect how we take action in our life. And how we take action improves our circumstances. So the question is, who are we willing to become? So let's say God gave you this dream for your life. And you're thinking, Lord, but just send me a sign. You know, when do I need to do it? So I jokingly said, this is the sign you've been looking for. So if you've been praying for a sign, this is it. Yeah, Renette says, plan your life and then live your plan. Yeah, that's a good thing to say. Yeah, so are you ready to dream up a vision for your life and make it a reality? Not just say, hey, I would love to live here and do this and accomplish this in my life, but saying, hey, what will it actually take? What will it take to accomplish this dream? Because if we wake up tomorrow and we have this dream life, let's say you make this 3-year vision and you say, Yona, in 3 years' time, I want to live there. I want to have this kind of spouse. I want to have this kind of business. I want my family life to look like this. What if I flip a switch and then your life looks like that tomorrow? Do you think you are ready for it? Have you developed your character in a way that you can sustain that success? Let's say you say, I want to be a public speaker. Are you ready to be a public figure where people can scrutinize your life, where they're looking at your character, where they're looking at your level of excellence? Are you ready to be a steward? And are you stewarding the little bit that you have right now for God to be able to say, hey, good and faithful steward, I'm going to give you more. Remember the parable of the talents, where the one worker buried his talents, the other one multiplied it. So which one are you? Are you the one that's multiplying, or you the one that's burying everything because you're scared? So make a decision on who you are willing to become, because every day we can make decisions and we can form opinions on what we believe about ourselves. We are the decisions that we make on a daily basis. We are only one decision away from having a totally exponentially different life. We're only one decision away. What do you think about that? Any thoughts on that, Renette?
Yeah, I think that's really important to have something, a goal where you want to what you want to reach, to grow into the goal. And then you've got to dress the part, be the part as well. So your whole persona must grow into this. And the sooner the better. And the easiest is to have a 3-year plan and a 5-year plan. That's very important. That's true.
Yeah. And I remember when I was a little girl, this song played on the radio. I don't know if you guys know it, but it's that little one of, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be worth it. So many people take second best, but I won't take anything less. And that song made such an impression on me as a child. And that had me dress more seriously than my peers. Everyone always said, where are you going? Are you going to church? Why are you dressing like this? And I don't know, but I always had this thing that I needed to look presentable and I needed to present myself well. And it's because of something in that song, I've got to present myself and look good for where I'm going, not where I'm at right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very important. Yeah, you must walk. You must decide what you want to be, and then you dress like that. You walk like that. You talk like that. Everything around you must look like that, because then it's easier to slide into it. I think so. And to have a vision board.
Yes.
For the year or whatever.
Yep. And we spoke about the vision board last time. It's just making the vision a reality. And even more than the vision board is looking at your vision board and saying, hey, which of these things can I do a taster on? If I want to drive this kind of car, can I go and test drive it? If I want to live in this kind of house, can I go and walk through that house? If God is going to bless me in my ministry and I'm going to work with people, how can I do it on a small scale? How can I take the first step, the best first step to make the vision a reality? If you want the body of your dreams, what is one small thing, one small action you can take this week to move closer to who you are becoming? So, are you willing to do what it takes to realize your dreams? And are you able to reach your dreams if you take these steps? Let's say if we take a percentage and I say, okay, reaching the dream is 100% and you're at 25%. Can you say, hey, each day, each year, each month, I'm getting 1% closer to who I'm supposed to be, or 10% closer in a year, moving towards who God has called you to be? I mean, even thinking about someone like Moses, he didn't even know God was shaping him, but he shaped him perfectly. He made him grow up in a palace, even though he was an Israelite, so that he can learn the palace customs. He made him work for his father-in-law Jethro in the desert, in the wilderness, so that he can learn to survive. He had to escape Egypt, and then married his wife, and then lived in the desert for 40 years. So God prepared him not only in Egypt, but also in the wilderness, as well as his Israelite upbringing, or not his upbringing, but his cultural, inherited traits that he had. So the Lord equipped him even though he was not aware. And in the same way, I completely agree and I think that God shapes us along our journey. Maybe we haven't woken up to, what he has called us for yet. And this is something you need to pray for the Holy Spirit. Say, Lord, just really reveal to me what is my vision, what is my calling, what am I here on earth to do for you, what is my purpose. And he will, piece by piece, he's going to make it clearer and clearer. And the more time you spend with the Lord, the more you will know what is your calling. So if you say today, if you're listening and you're saying, hey, I don't even know what my calling is, then I would say spend time with God, because the sheep knows the shepherd's voice. And when you learn to recognize his voice from spending time in his presence, that's when you will recognize when he's speaking to you. And that's where he will start giving you direction for your life. And you will start recognizing the direction, and you will start going and coming into alignment with the Father's will for your life. And that is when you unlock abundance. Go read 1 Corinthians 2. That is all about how to unlock abundance. It is coming into alignment with the will of the Father, the thoughts, the heart of the Father through the Holy Spirit, so that we can walk in his will, so that when we are in his will, only then can abundance be unlocked over our lives. So Shanika says, I'm working on mine. Still I was healing this week. No worries, Shanika. I'm also pretty sick. I think I've got flu or cold or something. So I'm coughing and sneezing and all the things. But we're still here. Kat says, seek him daily and he will align. Amen. Amen. Absolutely. Yeah. So let's just take a breath. Let's just take a moment. And it's so beautiful to know even the Lord's name, Yahweh, is about breathing. So every breath we take, the in breath and the out breath actually speaks his name. So let's breathe together a little bit and think bigger than we have been. So just take a moment with me. Let's take a moment and let's just breathe a little bit. Because sometimes we are so busy throughout the day, we sometimes forget to breathe deeply. So let's take a deep breath in and out. And when you take it in, feel your belly rising. In and then out again. And for the last time, a deep breath in. Hold it. Hold it and out. As a sigh. Okay. So ladies, just to have air in our lungs is a privilege. I thought about it in the time of COVID when I actually created this training. Just the ability to breathe, to wake up in the morning, to have another day is such a blessing. If you say, I don't know what I can be grateful for, the fact that you're still breathing, that is something to be grateful for, something to praise the Lord for, another chance to make something right, another chance to write the story that God is calling you to write. All right. So you are here for a reason. Personal development is a gift. It is not like a massage that is good for one day and then it's over. Personal development actually changes the trajectory of our life because we are setting the sail. So if we're on a sea and we're just this boat and we're just being taken with the wind from side to side, we don't have any direction. Personal development and life coaching is like a set of the sail. So when we set the sail, when we set aim, when we are in alignment with the Father's will for our lives, that's when we can expect miracles. That's where we can expect provision. That's where we can expect abundance. Because then whatever we want is already on the way, because God says, I will supply exceedingly and abundantly, more than you can ever think to ask or imagine. More than you can ever think to ask or imagine. So if you've written that 3-year vision, just say, this is playing small in God's eyes. And you write that vision that seems impossible for you, and you're like, whoa, that sounds a bit pompous, and that sounds a bit like I'm too full of myself. Just tell yourself, my God dreams much bigger than I do. Okay. So a plane starting at point A let's say its direction is set for point A, and the pilot slightly changes the trajectory, it dramatically ends the destination where this plane lands up. Okay, so just a little bit of a pivot in the beginning, and this plane ends up in a totally different destination. And that's the same thing with making exponential changes in our life. Is small decisions in, what is my values, what is my vision, my 3-year vision, what is the life story that I'm telling. And we're talking today, we're going to talk about your mission. And on day 5, we're talking about your goals. Just these little tweaks can help you end up in a dramatically different destination than if you don't do this work. So it is so important to do the personal development work. Okay. Shanika says, try putting onions on your feet before bed tonight and eat a clove of garlic. Okay. This is my regime all week. Yeah, and I've got something I believe in is eucalyptus oil. So I put eucalyptus oil in a like a steam thing. And I've got some made lemon and Sinucons and all kinds of stuff to just help me get over this thing. And I think my immune system is a bit low because I was sick and then I got healthy again. Then my husband got sick and then he made me sick again. So, okay. Anyway, so hi Sarah, how are you? Sister Auntie Sarah says, hi Samuel's friend. Shame. So just know that even if you dream the most amazing vision for your life, this 3-year vision, and you say something totally that feels totally ridiculous to you, it feels like there's no way I will reach it. In God's eyes, we're still setting the bar too low. Okay, because what looks impossible now is possible from a different angle. 3 years from now, you're a totally different person than you were today. If you think about 3 years back, let's think about the COVID time 5 years ago. It feels like yesterday, but it's 5 years ago. And just think about the person that you were 5 years ago and how much has changed in the last 5 years in you, in your character, in the way you show up, in the way you do things. What God has shaped in the last 5 years in your life. And what you believed then isn't what you're believing now. What you believe for now, you wouldn't have even dreamed of 5 years ago. And that's what I'm saying is what looks impossible for you now is completely possible from a different angle in a future version of who God is calling you to be. I hope that makes sense, ladies. So that is wrapping up day 3. So let's get into day 4. Before we get into day 4, is there anything you want to add, Renette, or anyone listening in on what we just spoke about? Feel free to comment below as well. Otherwise, we'll carry on. Is there anything you want to share?
You can carry on.
Okay. So day 4, we're talking about life balance. We're going to ask 5 important questions, talking about becoming a serious student in your life, what it takes to develop mastery, implementation versus information, that greatness comes from grunt work, leveraging our time, money, and energy. What is our beliefs? Getting ready for our life to change. We're going to talk about limiting beliefs, the cognitive behavioral therapy cycle, to love, the fact that death is inevitable. We're going to touch on codependency and narcissism. And yeah, so this is a duplicate. Just remove the duplicates here. Okay. So that's quite a lot. I hope we're able to cover everything, but let's see how far we get. Okay. So ROI. For everything we do, everything we invest, whether it's money, whether it's your time, whether it's your energy, we want a return on investment. So there are probably things that you're doing right already, that you've put in place, habits, skills, strategies that you've put in place that's already bringing this return on investment for you. But let's say you're looking at your life right now and you're taking an inventory and you're saying, Jana, I've been doing all the things, but there's no return on investment. If I look back and 12 months back in my life, there's not much changes. There's not much changes from who I was last year. So I don't really feel like I have hope that anything can really change in the next 12 months. Because if there has been no changes or return on my investment in the first 12 months, who's to say that the next 12 months will give me a return on investment? But I want to say to you that, a return on investment comes from what we are willing to put in. So if we are focused on only information, and we're going to talk about it later again, information doesn't create a transformation. So you can listen to so many podcasts and you can do so many courses and listen to so many trainings like tonight. But if you don't take action, if you don't ask yourself, hey, what is something small I can implement from this training today, this week, next week? How can I keep myself accountable that I keep making changes that I know I need to make? Because we all know things that we need to implement in our lives, but are we doing it? Are we putting it in place? Are we better than who we were yesterday? Or are we going to be in the same situation 12 months from now? Jim Rohn said, there's this guy on a porch and he's got this dog lying on the porch next to him. And this dog is crying and crying. And then someone comes up to the guy and says, why is this dog crying? And the guy says to the other guy, no, he's laying on a nail. And then this guy is saying, but why doesn't he get up? And then the guy on the chair says, who knows? And sometimes we are like that dog. We want to complain about our situation. We want to be in a victim mentality. We want to cry about our situation. We want to be emotionally vulnerable to our friends about the situation. But what are we doing to change it? Are you that dog that's laying on the nail? Or are you going to get up and do something about it? Because nothing is going to change if you don't change. If you don't take action and put things in place, habits, skills, things in place to make a change, nothing is going to change. So are you going to be in the same situation next year? Or are you going to make a massive change? That's the question. Shanika says eucalyptus essentials are also good. I've got a eucalyptus candle burning now. Yeah, garlic helps build the immune system and act as a natural antibiotic. Yeah. Onion pulls toxins out of the body. Yeah, okay. If I have turmeric, it helps with inflammation. I do have turmeric. I used to drink turmeric milk with my shoulder when my shoulder was so inflamed. So, and I also got like it's inflammation tissue salts, so anti-inflammatory tissue salts that I suck on as well. So yeah, thank you for the tips. We'll definitely get over this. It's not serious. It's just feel like I'm drowning my own mucus. All right. So I just want to give you a glimpse of, what the value ladder looks forward from, the Personal Development Academy. So maybe you came into my world and you have maybe found me in a Facebook group, or you found me on YouTube or on LinkedIn or on my WordPress blog. Doesn't matter how God brought you into my world or I came into your world. That is my free content. And right now we are in the green. So you are in the Unstoppable Faithpreneur Tribe membership. And this Unstoppable Faithpreneur Tribe membership includes the Shepherd Sales System, the Shepherd Sales Circle, which is the sales as content. And it's also Inspire Free Personal Development Academy. And that's what we're busy with tonight. We're doing the personal development work. So there's a whole year's worth of curriculum on the personal development side. So this is where you are at now. And this membership is a $500 a year membership. But you have received free access. And for the next 80 ladies that needs to join, they will get it for free. So if you've got friends that you want to recommend this to, let me know. Introduce me to them in Messenger by doing a 3-way chat. Just invite them to a chat and then invite me to the chat as well. So I can just get their email and get their permission if they want to be in this. So if your friends, I'm just looking for Christian female experts, no men. So if you know of somebody that you feel you'd love to have your bestie join in here, let me know, introduce me to her. And if she wants to, then she's welcome to also be part of the UFT membership that I'm giving away. All right, so that's where we're at. And then if you're wondering about what is the next step after this, if you've done the Inspire Free Personal Development Academy, if you've done the Shepherd Sales, if you understand how your content can also be a sales funnel. Then I'm going to invite you into the Attraction Amplified plus AI. It used to be only a 12-week course. Recently, I upgraded it to a 90-day sprint with a full year access. So it's a 90-day sprint, but I do the 90-day sprint 4 times a year. So you can actually attend it 4 times. So you will have a year's access to the content and every cohort that I run. And in the Attraction Amplified, we learn about setting up our brand, our voice, our messaging, our positioning. And just in the call tonight, I see many of my people that already is Attraction Amplified graduates. So Renette is a graduate, Sarah is a graduate of the Attraction Amplified, and ladies, you can contact them on your own if you want to hear about, what was the experience like for them. Got many testimonials on that. So join me on this journey. You can pay off the 5K. If you're interested in that, just let me know. And then further than that is the Sell Your Expertise. So Sell Your Expertise used to be a 1-year course. I just recently upgraded it to a 3-year discipleship because Jesus discipled his disciples. So I also feel that the Sell Your Expertise, the stuff that we're learning in there, it needs a bit of a deeper implementation. So the offer that I'm making now, is basically going to be, it's a 12-month marathon, but you have a 3-year discipleship. So you can do it again and again and again for the next 3 years. It is a premium mentorship, and it helps you to move from generalist to a faith-aligned specialist with a full go-to-market strategy. So that's 17,500, and you can contact me regarding. All right, so I just want to quickly show you what's in the Attraction Amplified. This is not going to be a full offer presentation. I just want to make you aware of what's available in terms of the next step, and then we'll carry on with the training. So the Attraction Amplified plus AI, the Lord actually gave me this program because I actually built the Sell Your Expertise before that. I started Sell Your Expertise in 2023. Yeah, 2023. We are now in the 3rd cohort, the 3rd year of presenting Sell Your Expertise. And last year, the Lord spoke to me about our voices that needs to go out, the importance of the frequency of our voices, and that He's raising an army. And He gave me Isaiah 54 that says, expand your tent pegs. And He gave me Psalm, I think it's 68, that says, let your enemies flee. And He spoke to me about Judges 6 and 7, where He spoke to Gideon, and Gideon in the wine press, where the enemy has been stealing the crop for, and I can't remember how many years, 7 years, that the enemy, the Midianites, came and stole the crop like locusts, stole everything. And then God gave Gideon and his army, or his company, a heavenly strategy to overcome the 7-year enemy. And they actually overcome the enemy with a sound, making a loud noise, making a sound. So this is what the drums and the trumpet and all these things are about in the Attraction Amplified logo. It's got nothing to do with attraction, what is law of attraction or any new age, whatever. And this is also the olive of your crushing. So in the wilderness, in your crushing, there is an oil that's being released. And this oil becomes the healing balm for the people behind you that you need to heal. Okay, so, and we're also using ChatGPT as a content assistant to help us understand, research our avatar niche market, understand our customers better, and help us to communicate our offer. So the tagline of this offer is find your voice, find your tribe, and love them hard. So what's in this program is maybe you're starting and you say, hey, I don't even have an audience, or I'm posting, but I just hear crickets all the time. Nobody's commenting, nobody's showing up. I don't know what's going on. Or you actually get people on sales calls, but they are poor quality leads. They're not the right people. They're wasting your time. It's just not the right fit at all. So this might be your starting point. And then we move through a 9-module roadmap where we start with your entrepreneurial journey. So this is about you as the CEO. It's about, how you show up in business. And then we go into spotting gold, which is all about market research, field research, and keyword research. Then we go into crafting your standout advantage, which is all about your superpower. What makes you unique? What is your unique selling proposition? What makes people choose you over someone else? We also have the brand brilliance. So the brand brilliance is about your brand. What is your brand colors? What is your brand fonts? How does your brand logo look? All those kind of things, your visuals. Finding your business voice is just about what are the topics that you speak about and speak on. What are you known for? What do people come to you for? If you think about Brene Brown, her one word is vulnerability, maybe, or Simon Sinek's one word is leadership. So what do people come to you for? What is your expertise? So this is what finding your business voice is about. Then the content code talks about how can we use our content as a kind of curriculum to shape people's minds, to become a thought influencer, to become an authority in the mind of your audience. Then we have building your brand story. So this goes through the hero's journey framework and how we set up our brand so that it becomes a recognizable, familiar brand. People feel safe. People feel that they can trust you. And then we talk about the roadmap to success. So how to showcase your offer to your prospective clients and how to set it up as a roadmap so people know, where do they start? Where does it end? Where are you taking them? Because nobody's getting on a plane that they have no idea where they're going. Okay, so that's what the roadmap to success is about. And then finally, lights, camera, and action. So many of us are maybe scared to go live, or we don't know how to sell from stage. We don't know what to do with the live. So lights, camera, and action talks about that. And at the end of the Attraction Amplified, I want you to have at least 300 to 600 qualified leads in 90 days. I want you to have a year worth of content bank that you can plug and play. I want your Facebook profile optimized. I want you to know tech stuff. So if you're struggling with Zoom or calendars or just basic things, a CRM to keep track of who you're working with, we discuss all of that in the Attraction Amplified. And we also discuss the 15-30 method. That's about how we're getting this accelerator of how to increase or build our audience. So that is the Attraction Amplified. There's also some bonuses that's available in this course. So there's lots of things. There's access to the Unstoppable 500 Tribe, which is what you're in right now. There's ChatGPT avatar research. There's head and heart post ideas. There's market research. There's a Facebook profile audit workshop. There's roadmaps, templates. We have a KPI tracker. We have mindset videos, a 30-day lead attraction challenge. There is a basic manual database. So if you're struggling to, if you're having lists of who you're working with and you're struggling to keep track of all of that, I give you my manual system. Then Lights, Camera, and Legacy is one of my proprietary systems for using lives and stuff to actually sell from stage. This is the second sales system that I teach. So in the Shepherd Sales Circle, you learn how to use content as a sales system. This is the first sales system that I teach. The second sales system that I'm going to teach you in Attraction Amplified is how to use lives and stuff to sell from stage. And then the voice-driven content calendar is all about, what do I speak about? What do I speak about in terms of personal stuff or even business stuff to my audience when I go live? All right, so next steps is if you want my help, if you would like my help, if you know that this Attraction Amplified plus AI seems like the right next step for you, you can just send me a DM with the letters AAAI, or you can say, hey, Jana, I would love to have a sales conversation on this thing, and then I will take you in through the roadmap in details, answer all your questions, and then let's see if you are a good fit for this program. All right, so that is the Attraction Amplified, but let's carry on with our training. Okay, so life balance. How do we balance our life? How do we make sure we have some balance? So I want you to, on your notes, just take a few minutes and rate the following categories in your life on a scale of 1 to 10. And I should have had some music for us. Don't have some music right now, but just rate the following categories in your life on a scale of 1 to 10. Number 1 is your social and family relationships. And if you're listening in, you can just write the numbers in the chat so I can see. So social and family relationships. where do you feel you're at? So 1 being not good, 10 being, no, I'm great. I'm just going to mute because I need to blow my nose.
Must we put it in the chat?
You can put it in the chat, Renette, or you
Or
can
must
just
be-
write it on your notes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the next one is career and educational aspirations on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being bad, 10 being great. Money and personal finances. Health, recreation, and leisure. Your life routine responsibilities. How you're contributing and giving back to society. Your mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And then when you've got your score and you've got everything together, I want you can take a screenshot of this, and then in your private time, just write a little vision statement, even if it's 2 or 3 sentences about what you want in each of these categories. What do you need to put in place? How can you improve on your score? How can you make it better? And you can do that in your own time. How are we doing, ladies? All right. Are we ready to move on? Okay. And then there's 5 questions regarding these things that we've written down. And you can also take a screenshot of this slide. I'll also put it along with the homework. This is bonus. This is not the homework. These are bonus things to journal on. So based on my score and based on these vision statements for each of these categories that we just talk about and spoke about, ask yourself, put a candle on, put some worship music on, go sit somewhere where nobody's bothering you, and just journal on these questions a little bit. What would your ideal life look like? And think about all of these categories. What would it look like? What is the promised land for you in these categories? And then ask yourself, what are the main difficulties? What are the obstacles you're facing into bringing your life back into balance? And then just notice, which of these categories am I doing really well in? I'm proud of myself. I'm doing good in these categories. There's some foundation. I'm not completely useless. There's some categories that I'm thriving at, that I'm doing well. And then look at what are immediate changes that you need to bring into place to balance your life. And we're going into much more detail on the life balance in the Life Transformation Accelerator. We're actually spending, I think, 5 days just on this in the next coming trainings. So just as a metric for now. And then lastly, what words might other people use to describe you in relation to how balanced you are? So now put yourself in the shoes of your spouse, your best friend, your pastor, someone else that looks from the outside in into your life. And how would they score you? what would they say when when we would ask them, how balanced is Renette's life? How balanced is Sarah's life? How balanced is Shanika or Kat's or Heather's life or Edna's life? What would those people say? And just become a third observer, because it's sometimes interesting to see yourself from the eyes of someone else, to just observe. Okay. All right, so this is just bonus homework. And ladies, again, the more you put into this challenge, the more you will get out. So I think I'm going to put a placeholder for us here in another section. Remove section. Just sorry, ladies. Just want to put a placeholder for myself so I can remember where we were. Place holder. Okay, and then we're moving to the real homework, and then we will do the other slides. We'll keep carrying on with the other slides as well. Let me just get to that. Okay, so let's talk about death. And death is not a nice topic to talk about, especially not this week, right? We had some terrible things happening in the world this week regarding death. So Mark Manson says, in a bizarre, backwards way, death is the light that illuminates, by which the shadow of all life's meaning is measured. Without death, everything would feel inconsequential. All experiences would be arbitrary. All metrics and values would suddenly be zero. It would lose its meaning. But because we know that, hey, there's a deadline for all of us, there's two things in life that we can be sure about, and that is death and taxes. You're going to die someday. Okay, so live each day as if it's the last day you've got. Find your meaning in the date of your death. I used to have an app on my phone, and I think it was called something about Memento Mori or something, that actually calculated, that says, what do you think your life expectancy is going to be? And I said it's going to be 125, because by that time, hopefully the technology would have improved so much biologically and whatever scientifically, that we maybe become 125 years old. So I put the number 125 in my app very ambitiously, and then it counted my days. And every day I would just look at that counter, and write down the number on a little sticky note and put it on my laptop, just to remind me, hey, this life isn't promised. Tomorrow isn't promised. Make sure that you're living the life that God expects from you. Make sure that you're doing the best you can with every day that you have. Tell your loved ones you love them. Do the things that the Lord is asking you to do. Stop procrastinating and telling yourself you'll do it later, you'll do it next week, you'll do it next year. Don't live someone else's dream. Don't copy someone else's idea of what your life should look like. Because God gave you this blank page, and your pen is full of ink. So don't waste it. You got air in your lungs. You were blessed with another day, another week, another year. So don't waste it. Because we don't know how much ink we've got left in the pen. So, and I just want to bring Charlie Kirk into the conversation. And I'm also thinking about that poor girl that was stabbed in the week before Charlie as well. So for those of you that's tuning in that don't know who Charlie Kirk is, and I think we all know who he is, but let me just read for you. Charlie Kirk was a US conservative activist, founder of Turning Point USA, and the host of the Charlie Kirk Show, recognized for mobilizing Gen Z conservatives at scale. He launched the TPUSA as a teenager and later built the affiliated platforms like Turning Point Action and Turning Point Faith, cementing his influence across campuses and media. He was fatally shot while speaking at the Utah Valley University on September 10th, just 2 days ago, killing that triggered widespread condemnation of political violence. Call to action is Charlie Kirk, and I said here in my post, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. You left an amazing legacy that will outlive your short time here. And may this be a reminder for us to not waste our life on frivolous things. You know, we have a legacy to leave. We don't know how many days we've got promised. Charlie Kirk was only like 30, I think he was 31 or something. So we have
31.
Yeah, 31. We don't know how much time we've got left. But let us also, when we die, let people say, hey, this was a giant of the faith. A giant fell. That's what I want people to say about me when I die. Hey, today a giant fell. And I want the Lord to say, hey, good and faithful servants. That's what I want. That's the legacy I want. And I want my children to say, my mother was my spiritual mentor. My mother was my example. That's what I want my legacy to be. So think about, what is your legacy that you'll leave? Because you don't know. You know, when our daughter died at the age of 23, someone said to me, we didn't know that she was very old. I think it's Urinate that said that to me. We didn't know that she was very old. She seemed young, but she was very old. We didn't know that she was only going to live until 23. So the short time that we had to spend with her, she was already very old. And maybe we get to live until 80. Then we're very old at 80. But someone is very old at 1 year old and they die. Charlie Kirk was 31 and he died. So he was very old because this was near the end of his life. All right. So this is what homework is about, is I want you to write your mission statement. And we're going to write it as an obituary. So what is people saying about us on our funeral, on our social media, the day they find out that we're no longer with them? Okay, there's an expiry date. Don't miss the main point. So if you're brave, you can share a video or post in the Unstoppable Faithpreneur Tribe Facebook group. And this is the homework sheet. So it says, what would you love for people to say about you at your funeral? Because this will clarify your mission and what you want in life. There is one certainty in life, and that is death. There is an expiry date on your life. One day. I don't want you to miss out on the important stuff. Don't focus your life on this life here and miss out on eternity. So write down the best case scenario of what the people you care about the most will write about you in your obituary at your funeral or on your tombstone or on your social media on the day that you die. In this inscription that becomes the greatest vision of your life. And it's also the factor which you will weigh up all of your future decision making against. This will help you establish a new standard and a perspective for your life, and you will define what is most important to you. And also the way in which you must conduct yourself in relation to other people for the remainder of your days. Any questions about the homework or any feedback about the training before we say goodbye?
I think we've got a lot of things to think about. Just to take stock of your life again, just to see whether you are where you want to be. I think it's a good exercise.
Yeah, and it's a somber exercise to think about, but it's an important thing because, you know, God isn't calling us to be small. You know, I always tell my children, you're eagles. You're not chickens, you're eagles. And they know it. God isn't calling you to play small. He placed us on earth to have dominion, to take authority. In Genesis 1:26 to 28. So take dominion, take authority, talk to God about your purpose, know the voice of your Father so that you can discern his will for your life, so that you can take steps in the direction of his calling, in this unique purpose that is laid out from conception, before you were born. Remember, Psalm 139 verse 14 says, you are one of a kind. You're one of a kind. You were purposefully made for this moment. So ladies, I'm looking forward to seeing your visions, and I'm looking forward to seeing your missions. So just a recap, vision is your 3-year vision. What are you excited about? What is this vision God is calling you towards in the next 3 years? Your mission is like your obituary. What do you want to stand for? What is the legacy you're leaving? What are people saying about you the moment you're no longer here or of your business? All right, ladies. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a lovely day. Be blessed. Love you too. And we'll speak again tomorrow.
Bye,
Bye.
Sister G.